Time for bag talk. Everybody loves a bit of bag talk. Videographers, we love bags. Creators, we just have bags scattered everywhere. I don't know about you, but you sort of buy a big one for all your stuff, then you buy a small one for your everyday carry, and then you end up with everything in between. So let's get into it. I've been using this Peak Design Everyday Backpack 20 litre now for a few years, from everything from everyday carry to actually full photography shoots and all my YouTube stuff as well. And I love this bag. I love the side access. I love the fact that you can kit it out as a photo video bag, put your cameras and lenses in here. The next day you can sort of take the dividers out and just use it for shopping or going out, just sort of everyday carry stuff. So yeah, so I use this for the airport, for the plane, for carrying around cities, and it's been great. But sometimes it just feels like too much. It feels like, you know, I don't need all of this space just for the airport. When you're given, I've got my suitcase and, you know, cabin luggage maybe and things like that. I don't necessarily need all of this with me. And the other thing is it can get quite heavy as well when you're out and about. So this bag alone comes in at 4.6 pounds or 2.1 kilograms before you've even put anything in it. That's just with the dividers in it. So it's 2 kilograms before you put anything in it. And you load it with camera gear, your laptop, whatever you want to put in it, and it does become quite heavy. And these straps, they're good, but they're not really designed for that sort of thing. They're just, you know, they're comfy for a day, but once you start putting cameras and lenses and everything in there, it does get a little bit uncomfortable. So what I really wanted, and why I ended up getting the Peak Design 15 litre zip, is something that I can carry that's a bit smaller, a bit lighter. I don't necessarily need to carry my MacBook Pro around, just something for a little small everyday carry. And the Peak Design Everyday Zip comes in at 2.95 pounds or 1.34 kg. So that's about 700 grams lighter than the Peak Design Everyday Backpack 20 litre, which is about the equivalent of a Sony 24-70, which is quite a lot. And obviously it's smaller, you're not going to fit as much in it. But this is, for me, just a good walk around light bag that I'm going to load out for my trip to the US next month. So let's get into the bag. So now I've spoken about why I bought this thing, let's get into the actual bag itself. And I'm just going to run through some of the features. Now I've got this sort of midnight blue colour, but it does come in black and I think a sort of off-white, which is called bone. The reason I chose blue is just because, again, it's not my main camera backpack. It's going to be something that I'm using for everyday carry. So I didn't want it to just be that standard sort of black colour. We've all got too many black bags, haven't we? So this blue is really nice. It's a nice dark blue, finished with like a brown sort of leather at the top for the handle. The black one doesn't have this leather at the top. It has a kind of more of a soft touch feel. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom here, but it has kind of that material all around. But the midnight blue one does have a little leather strip at the top, which is quite nice. And again, the same with the brown Peak Design logo here. It's a very sleek look. I like it. There's not too much going on at the front. It just looks clean, minimal and fresh. I do like the aesthetic of Peak Design bags. I looked at so many bags, so I was trying to figure out which one to get, and this one just kind of stood out because it's not so much of an adventure hiking kind of backpack, but just more of an everyday, simple, minimal backpack. So at the front, I've also got some little strap hooks, and you can use these to strap like a coat or a jacket or something onto the front of it. I can imagine that I will be using this when it's, you know, sort of spring, autumn season, when you're going out in a t-shirt, but you might need a jumper, just whack it on the outside here. And you're not taking up any of your valuable space inside, which is quite nice. And then on the side here, we've got a little side handle and the water bottle pocket. Inside the water bottle pocket is a little strap, and this can be used again to attach like a tripod to the side or a gimbal or something like that. There's also a little strap hook inside, which is going to be quite difficult to see, I think. There's a little strap hook inside which you can attach that strap to, and that will help you attach that tripod to it. The bottle holders are good, but in my experience they're quite tight. So if you're carrying like a litre bottle, you might struggle to fit in there. You probably could do, it stretches quite far, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle, and it's going to be a bit side heavy if you try and do that as well. So you've got the same thing on the other side. Again, you've got the handle. It's a nice soft handle. You could hold it by that if you wanted to. And again, the water bottle holder. In this one though, you've got the Peak Design sort of like key holder thing. So you've got one of their clips in there. You can put that around your keys. And the idea of this is you sort of don't need to take your bag off to get your keys and start unlocking the doors and stuff. You can just sort of take it out, stretch it, unlock your door, put it straight back in there. Bit of a weird place to put your keys though. It's not exactly secure, but it is there if you want to use it. Coming over to the back now, and we've got these straps. Again, the straps are pretty similar to the Everyday Backpack 20 litre. They're okay. I really haven't had many problems with them. But they're not the softest, you know, most secure straps in the world. It's nice that they sort of can swivel around because of this sort of swivel mechanism. Let's see if I can get it on the top camera there. You can just sort of swivel it around like that. But yeah, for the amount that you should be putting in this backpack, I don't think you're going to have too much of a problem with the straps. But obviously that's personal preference again. So you've got the sort of chest strap here as well. So all you have to do is sort of unhook that and hook it into the other side. Now, some people have said they don't like this, but I don't think it's honestly too much of a problem. That's all you've got to do, and then you've got your chest strap there. That's always there, but then you can hide it somewhere if you need to. The difference between this and the 20 litre is you don't have that sort of secret pocket underneath to hide the straps in, whereas you normally do on the 20 litre Everyday Backpack. You also don't have the magnets that sit these straps down to the bag that you have on the Everyday Backpack, which is a shame because I love just having that minimal look. When you are not wearing the backpack, you can just sort of magnet it to the back of the backpack and it's there. But you don't have that on this one, unfortunately. So if you do hold it by the sides, it is sort of gonna flop a little bit, and it's, you know, it doesn't look too pleasing there. But again, it's a small thing, it's a cheaper backpack, you're not going to get as many features, and it also keeps the weight down because less magnets. And the other thing you've got here is a little luggage pass-through, which is quite nice if you want to put that on the back of your suitcase or something like that. Obviously in true Peak Design style, you can sort of lift this up and change the tightness of the straps. It's really easy to do. There's a little pull tab here, you just pull that and put on the strap, and that will tighten the strap for you. So really easy to do that. And on the bottom, it's a bit of a thicker material, and again, you've got some little strap hooks here. Plenty of strap hooks on this for putting your tripod on the bottom, or again, like a coat or a jacket or something like that. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this bag. So what I love about this bag is it has the usual side access if you want to just open it from the side. Then you can also open it from the top. So just like that. But it's all one zipper. What I recommend doing is having 2 zips at the top, so you can just zip down for the top access, and then having 1 zip on either side at the bottom, so you've got side access very quickly just by zipping that round there, like we just did. Let's take a look at the side access first, see what it looks like. And this is the setup that came with the bag. So you get 2 flex fold dividers. This is exactly where they put them when you buy the bag. The flex fold dividers, you've probably seen them before, but let's get them out and show you anyway. So these dividers, again, you've probably seen them before, but they fold down so you can create little compartments within your bag to put like a lens in there, lens there, lens there. Or you can just have it as one whole thing so you can see all the way through it. I'm going to put that back in. So similar to the Everyday Backpacks, you've got a little magnetic pocket here that you can just put stuff in, and then you've got a zip one here. And they're quite sort of stretchy as well, so you can fit a little bit in here. But also if you put in any gear or anything on this side, you're going to want to make sure you're not loading this up too much, because they can sort of bang against each other when you're trying to zip it up. So let's zip that back up. and have a look to see what we got in the top. So in the top, that's what it looks like with the top access. So this is a sort of bucket where you just dump stuff. It's not expandable, unfortunately, like the 20 litre. And I did actually like the expandability on the regular everyday backpack with the sort of mag latch system. It's only kind of coming in handy a few times, and I don't think I'll be needing it when I actually take this backpack out with me, just because, like I say, it's a minimal everyday carry. It's not me trying to cram everything into a bag. So I'm not too bothered it hasn't got it, but it's just something to bear in mind. Now you'll notice that this flap is really quite annoying when you're trying to get your stuff. You need two hands to get anything, otherwise you're doing this and trying to get in and find something. So you can just sort of like bend it back like that and it will stay relatively still. You also notice there's a little pocket here for, I don't know, passport, keys, anything you want to put in there. It's quite a soft pocket, but it's not like lined with, you know, fur or anything that's going to keep stuff safe. So bear that in mind. That's the only pocket in the top though. The rest of it is just a little dump. Let's fold that back over. And on the back of the bag, we do have the sort of laptop compartment. So if you unzip that. So here is where the laptop goes. It can hold a 13-inch laptop. I did try putting my 16-inch MacBook Pro in there. It definitely doesn't fit. I mean, it squeezed about halfway in and it stopped about somewhere in the middle. So I wouldn't recommend trying that because it's quite difficult to get back out. But I did want to see how much it could handle. Maybe if you're rocking the 14-inch Mac, you might be able to squeeze that in here. Don't take my word for it, but again, the official word is 13-inch laptop. I'm just going to be using this for an iPad. When I'm traveling or going on a plane, I'm just taking the iPad, not really a full-blown laptop setup. But in here you also have like the little pockets as well. So that's where the laptop goes there. And then you sort of open that up and you've got little quick access pockets at the top. I do like these pockets for chucking in gear. You can just chuck, you know, chargers, things into here, and then you can separate it and put little wires in the side bits as well. I'm going to show you a little loadout in a minute. And that's pretty much it with this bag. It's quite simple, but there is a lot to it in terms of like little pockets and little extra things you can do to make use of the bag. What I'm going to do now is load it out to how I'm going to take it to America with me, and show you that sort of loadout. Then I'm going to load it out with camera equipment, see what I can fit in here and what I can squeeze in here. Which actually reminds me, one of the things that I don't like about it, if you did want to use it for camera equipment, is, so on the Peak Design Everyday Backpack 20 litre, if I unzip that, you'll see that I have two flex fold dividers that are like folded down, and I can just pop this camera in with a lens and I can just fold that over and zip it up. So every time I need access to my camera, I can just flip that open and voila, the camera is there. But if we now move on to the 15 litre, again, only two flex fold dividers, but let's say you sort of laid them out the same sort of way. If you try and pop that in, it's not really going in there, and there's not enough space to close that and get side access to it. I do have a little workaround for that, which I'm going to show you in a minute in the sort of camera loadout section of the video. But yeah, a little bit frustrating that you can't just whack a camera in there on its side. If you had a bit of a smaller camera, like one of Sony's APS-C cameras or like a little Fujifilm or something, you could probably do it, but not with the full frame cameras that I'm using. So let's get into the loadout that I'll be taking to America. This is going to be for on the plane, for in the airport, and just for taking around the city as well. Okay, so I've now kitted this out with the gear that I would take on a holiday, just traveling around the city. In this case, we're going to New York, San Francisco, and then LA. And this is going to be sort of the plane bag and also the carrying around the city bag as well. So let's get into what we've got here. And the first thing you notice is a little bottle on the side. So that's just a Chili's water bottle there. And straight away, nothing else on the outside. I've got the straps in there ready in case I need to strap like a coat onto it or something. But generally, just like to keep the outside nice and clean. So let's get into one of the sides first. So if I open that up, And this is the sort of camera side. So I had the GoPro stuffed into here with the little GoPro handle thing. Not the best handle, but it will do for now. So that will be stuffed into there, so I can access it from the side compartment or even the top compartment if I need to as well. I have, there you go, got a bit of better light in there. Have the Osmo Pocket 2 in here, but that'll be the ZV-1, but that's the camera that's filming me up here. So the ZV-1 would be in here, and this camera here is the X100V, which I'd actually probably end up putting the Peak Design capture clip on the bottom and attaching it to the front of the camera. It's always nice to have a slot for it for when you don't want it on the front of the bag. Again, so ZV-1, X100V, generally when I do sort of a travel setup, I want something that's pretty decent for video and something that's good for photo as well. And then the GoPro is that thing that's sort of a little bit for everything. You can just sort of take it around, it's quite inconspicuous, nice and wide, but you can also get a nice linear field of view of it. So I believe with the ZV-1, X100V and the GoPro, pretty much covered for everything and still quite good quality there as well. So that's one side of the bag. In the pockets as well, I have the Insta360 Go 2. What a camera that is. It's so sick. Such a cool little camera for like attaching to your chest and just having a little FPV view. I'm not sure how much I'll use that, but it's really nice to have with you and doesn't take up any space whatsoever. So yeah, that's one side of the bag. One of the things about side access on a backpack is that you never sort of know which side you want to get into. So I try and keep one side dedicated to something and another side dedicated to something else. So in this case, this side is my camera side. So I'm going to be using this when I'm out and about in the city. And then this side is more of a sort of everyday side. So if I open that up, you'll see all I've got here at the moment is just my headphones. In fact, let's spin that around. All I've got in the moment is just my headphones. These are the Sony WX-1000 M3s. Great for noise cancelling. I've been on a plane where a baby has screamed the entire time, and these have just cancelled it out. I didn't even realise it was happening until I got off the plane and everyone was complaining about it. So yeah, that's really good as well. And in these pockets, I don't actually have anything in there at the moment, but I want to get some spare ZV-1 batteries. At the moment, for some reason, it's lasted quite a while, given that I thought the battery life wasn't meant to be great on this. But I definitely want to get some spare batteries to put in there. Yeah, so that's it for that side. Let's get into the top, and surprisingly, nothing special in the top. Again, access to the GoPro, quite nice. And then we've just got the Insta360 gear here. So we've got an Insta360 bullet tire, what is it called? Invisible selfie stick thing. I love this, it's great. Let me just show you, because it extends right out. And I'm not even always using it for 360 cameras, to be fair. So sometimes I'll just pop a camera on this and use it, I don't know, as a selfie stick with a little ball head on it. And I've also got the Insta360 tripod legs as well to go on the bottom. So one of the things I really like to use this combo for is, and I think Sarah Dietschy may have sort of inspired this way of thinking, is that we're always taking selfies in front of things, but we don't take the time to get pictures of us, like whole body shots. We go to these all amazing places, but we never get these whole body shots. So what I like to do, put the Insta360 tripod legs on the bottom, extend them out like that, extend this selfie stick out, invisible stick out, and then you've got a pretty sturdy little monopod tripod thing there. So you can attach a phone or a GoPro or something to it, stand back, take a quick snap, and you're good to go. It's just a little bit better than just getting a selfie. So that's something that I always take with me places, and that's what's in the top of this bag. Other than that, currently nothing in it, and there is a reason for that. I try and keep the top, like the dump part of the bag, empty. And that's just because when I'm out and about, I'll pick up like snacks and extra drinks, maybe something at the gift shop, that kind of thing. And I always want room at the top just to be able to store all of that stuff in. So all I've got in there are the tripod sticks. And then finally in the back pocket, which is the tablet pocket, let's open that up. Oh. It's a bit of a squeeze. This is the iPad Pro, the small one. I don't know how much it is, 10-inch, something like that, with the keyboard and a little case. That's the sort of media machine for when I'm in the airport, on a plane. I just want to watch some stuff. I don't know why I got an iPad Pro, because I don't use it for anything pro whatsoever. I just use it for Netflix and stuff like that. But it's nice to have. Screen's amazing, high refresh rate. And this comes with me pretty much everywhere when I'm traveling. And one thing I actually forgot to mention was this pocket inside here that we spoke about earlier. And that's got all of the small things that come with the Insta360 Go 2. And that is like the magnet sort of thing that goes around your chest to attach it to your chest, the little clip thing, and the little like tripod sticky thing as well. Lots of little things for the Insta360 to go on, which helps you attach it to things, which is really nice. I don't have a lot of these things for the GoPro yet, but when I do, I will be sure to put them into the main socket here as well. So that's my sort of everyday travel loadout. This will be added to as time goes on. So for example, like the GoPro accessories and things like that will end up going in here. There's still loads of pockets and things free. But again, like I found the 20 litre was too much. So I switched over to this, and even then I haven't managed to fill it out the way you'd expect. So yeah, so great bag. I could probably even put the Peak Design pouch in here, maybe. Yeah. So I'm going to go switch to the camera loadout, and then we'll show you what it looks like if you've got lots of camera equipment and you want to take it out with you. Okay, so we're running out of time and this video is probably getting on a bit, but this is a full camera loadout I've very quickly put together just to show how much camera equipment you can get in there, and let's get into it. So on the side, this is quite heavy now. On the side we have the Weeble S, and that's connected with the little straps that I mentioned earlier. That fits in there quite nicely. It's relatively sturdy, but you'd probably want to wrap it around a few more times if you were taking it out and about properly. But it can fit the Weeble S quite nicely in there. Looks a bit big compared to the bag, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So let's take that out so that we can access some of the side panels. And that's one thing about a bag like this, which I've learnt to live with, is that once you do put a tripod, bottle, Weeble, whatever in the side, it's actually a lot harder to access the side pockets. Now you remember earlier that I said you can't get the camera in sideways like you can on the Peak Design 20L everyday backpack. The solution to this is to turn the little flex fold divider around so it goes a long ways. So you've got one that goes across the bag and then one that goes long ways, and then you can fit your camera in quite nicely. So you've just got a flat compartment there that you can just whack that in, and that's all I've got that side. There's nothing in the pockets at the moment. Maybe I'll bring something like a hard drive or something, but again, this is just a very quick loadout that I've put together. Flipping it over to the other side, because we've got that flex fold divider the way it is, we've got three little compartments here. This is the 24mm, this is the 85mm, just to show they can fit in there, not necessarily lenses I would take. And you've got a little space in there for, again, maybe a hard drive, maybe chargers, something like that. And then you've got batteries, Sony batteries in there, and that's all I've got on that side. But yeah, just a little hack if you want to be able to fit a camera in there. Put the flex fold divider the other way, and it goes in there quite nicely. And then up top here, we've just got the Mavic Mini 2, or the DJI Mini 2, batteries, and a remote for that as well. Again, probably lots more stuff you could fit in there if you really wanted to, but this is just to demonstrate that all of this can fit in there. You've got a camera, 3 lenses, Mavic, drone, you know, you can put your charger in there. You can fit anything that you would need on a sort of general shoot in here as well. Normally get this somewhere. Okay, so in this little bag, we've basically got all of the Rode Wireless Go 2 stuff in this pocket. That's my sort of go-to when I'm out and about doing YouTube and stuff, is the Rode Wireless Go 2, and all of it, that's the 2 transmitters, the receiver, and some headphones, all fit in that little sort of gadget pocket in there that we mentioned earlier. So that is a camera loadout with this bag. I do want to show you what this bag looks like on before I end the video. So let's whack it on. It's quite heavy with all this stuff in it. I don't know if I'd recommend it like this. So this is what the bag looks like on. Again, this is far too heavy for a bag like this. I would definitely wouldn't recommend putting all of this stuff in. I'm 6'2". This is quite a small looking bag on me. There's a lot of back room still left. It's all kind of concentrated up to the top of the back. But it is a nice small bag, and if I packed the 20 litre with the same stuff, again, you're looking at about 700 grams heavier. So in that sense, it's not too bad. So that's what the bag looks like on. Again, you can change the straps here if I wanted to loosen them up. Feels a little bit better. Probably walk around a bit like that. That's looking good. So, do I recommend this bag? Yes, I recommend this bag as long as you know what you are getting. This is a small size backpack. You're not going to fit a lot of camera equipment in it. If you do put a lot of camera equipment in it, it might be uncomfortable. But what it's mainly for is if you're carrying around a small laptop, a tablet, that kind of thing, little bits of everyday carry, and maybe one camera and a lens. If you're that kind of person, I fully recommend this bag. It's got a lovely design. Looks like it's going to last a long time. It's light. And it's stylish as well. So that's been it from me. Sorry if this has been like a long video. It does seem like it's been quite long, but it's the first video I've done like this where I'm just talking to camera about something in front of me. So I'm just sort of experimenting with that style of video. But I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. Let me know your thoughts on the bag down below in the comment section, or what bag you're rocking as well. It's always nice to see what people are currently using. All of my backlights have all gone apart from one. I'll be doing a review on them soon, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.